Yes, very good afternoon. So in our last class, we discussed about some of the equations like power, maximum power, so power generated by a wind energy, and also we discussed torque and the force. So these things we discussed in our last class. So based on those equations, we are going to solve some of the numericals. Okay. So let's take the first problem. So the first problem is yes. The wind velocity, the problem number 1. Okay, so this problem may ask for the 5 marks, maximum of 5 to 6 marks. The given data is like the wind velocity at the rate of 10 meter per second, at the rate of 10 meter per second at a 1 standard ATM, means atmospheric pressure, 1 standard atmospheric pressure, temperature of 30 degree centigrade, flows into a turbine, means this much of wind is flowing against to the blades, okay, or turbine, so that it will start rotating the turbine. Estimate the value of reasonable obtainable power, means you have to calculate the, based on this data, how much power is obtained, the power density in watt per meter square, assuming a maximum power coefficient is 40, means the maximum efficiency of that device or turbine is 40%, that you have to consider. So this is what the data given. So first you have to write down the velocity is 10 meter per second, and 1 standard atmospheric pressure at 30 degrees centigrade, you will get the density of air. So you first you have to find out the density of air, because rho is not given. Okay, so rho is the density of the air that you have to find out. So first the density of air rho, which is given by the equation, rho is equal to P by RT. The equation is P by RT, where rho is the density, okay, in terms of mass per volume, that is what, kg per meter cube, okay, and this R is the a ideal gas constant. It is called as a ideal gas constant, and that you can take 287 is the value. Okay, so that value is 287. And come to the P. So that P is the pressure. So pressure is just given. So 1 atmospheric pressure, and you can take 1 bar. So P is equal to here. Okay, so P is equal to 1 bar. So 1 bar means it is a 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. It is 10 raised to 5 per meter square, that is the value. So 1 bar means it is equal to 1.013, or you can take 1 into 10 raised to 5 bar. So bar means it is an Newton per meter square. So bar is nothing but, if you convert to SI unit, it is become okay. So 1 bar means it is of, so 1 bar is equal to so 1 bar means 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. Okay, so you just substitute that. We know that the density of air is equal to rho is equal to P by RT. That value we know. Okay, and by this equation, and P, it's a pressure, that is what given, 1 standard atmospheric pressure. So 1 you can take 1 or 1.013 10 to 5 divided by R, constant value you already know that it is a 287, into 303 means it is a temperature. It is here they given 30. So 30 means we already know that this is in a degree centigrade. So that this you have to convert to Kelvin. So Kelvin means 273. We already know that 273 plus degree centigrade. Okay, so that gives the Kelvin. So here 273 plus 30, it gives the 303. So 303. Okay, that you have to substitute 273 plus 30. If they given 20, 273 plus 20. If given 15, You just 273 plus 15, like this you have to take that temperature in Kelvin, and substitute these values, and if you simplify, the final value density of air for this atmospheric temperature and this standard pressure, which gives the 1.1649 kg per meter cube. With the help of calculator you have to calculate. So here there is a one standard chart is there. If the temperature is 15 degree and the density of air will become 1.25. If the temperature increases, the density is also so decreases. Correct? We already know that if the temperature increases, the density decreases. This is an universal truth. If the temperature increases, density of any gas or any substance or any object will decreases. Here also same thing. 15 degree is a low temperature, density is higher. If the temperature is 20, means higher temperature, yes, you can observe 1.104. If the temperature is still higher, 25 degree, it is 1.184. If the temperature is 30 degree, this is 1.164. Like this, density is decreases with increase in the temperature. Okay, so either you can use this formula or directly we can use this table. So from that we got the value of density of air. Fine. So next is power density. So we need the power which is equal to our maximum power or power density, which is equal to P total by A. This equation we already know. And what is P total? P total is rho into Vi cube, okay, and divided by 2. So we already got the value of 1.64 and 10 is the given velocity. Okay, so that velocity cube, 10 cube meter per second. So if you substitute that, if you simplify, finally you will get 582.2 watt per meter square. That is the power density. And for particular, the power coefficient of 40 percentage, means this 40 percentage, what will be the power? Okay, so this is what the efficiency of the turbine. So this will be the expected power density, means from that standard values we should get that 582.2 watt per meter square. That much of power we have to expect, but the efficiency of the device is up to 40%. It limits to 40%. So from that 40%, what will be the available power or reasonably obtained power or reasonably power density, that it given by, okay, so that maximum power into efficiency. That maximum power is 582, okay, or power density, that is what both are same. So that into 40, so 40% means it is a 0.4, clear, or 40 into divided by 100. So anything is okay. So 0.4 into this. So if you multiply 0.4 into 582.2, so finally you will get 232.9. So 232.9 watt per meter square is the net available energy from that device with that given datas. So with that given datas means the wind velocity is only 10 meter per second. If the wind velocity is increases, obviously it will increase the power output. Okay, so this 40% is the efficiency of the device. So that is also limit. We already know that in the Benz law the efficiency is up to 59.32, but actual reality the efficiency is only 30 to 40% or 45% maximum. So here in this device it have a 40%. So for that 40%, finally we get the energy is the obtainable or reasonably obtained power density is 332.9. Okay, so like this you have to calculate. So by using given datas. Okay, so this is the first problem and it's a very simple problem, and this kind of problems may ask for 5 to 6 marks. Yes, second problem. So at a particular site, means at a particular location, okay, where the atmospheric pressure, so here they directly given atmospheric pressure is 1.01 and the temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. The wind is available at 8 meter per second. It's a velocity. From these two data you will get the density of air. So density of air and the velocity, that combinedly will produce the wind power. Okay, so find the following by using these two data. One is the pressure 1.01325 bar. Okay, even you can take standard atmospheric pressure, means it is a 1, or if you want to go with a particular, means 1.01325 325. Okay, and the temperature for that atmospheric pressure is 20 degrees centigrade, and the wind velocity, that is what V, is 8 meter per second. Okay, and find the following. First you have to find the power density available in the wind, so means the total power. Okay, so power density means the total power available in the wind, that you have to calculate. Second, maximum power density possible, and third, obtainable power density assuming overall efficiency, means first two are the total power as well as maximum power. Okay, and third one is obtainable power with related to the efficiency of the device. The device restrict efficiency is only 35 percentage. And fourth one, you have to calculate power capacity of the windmill if the diameter is 30, means that windmill diameter is 30 meter, so that you will get a swept area. From that swept area you have to find out the what will be the power. Okay, so by efficiency also you can find out the maximum power, by knowing the swept area also you can find out the maximum power. Clear? So by first you have to write the given data. First thing is pressure, so P is equal to 1.0325 bar. So bar means Newton per meter square. If you convert that bar into Newton per meter square, because we need in SI unit, so Newton per meter square means 10 raised to 5. You have to add 10 raised to 5. So 1 bar is equal to 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square, and the temperature is 20 degrees centigrade, T. So that T in degree centigrade you have to convert to Kelvin. So 20 into 273 Kelvin. Okay, so if you add, it is become a 293. So 20 plus 273, it gives the 293 temperature in terms of Kelvin. Okay, and V is equal to 8 meter per second. The first thing you have to find out is air density. You have to find out the rho for particular site. Okay, so the density of the air is depends, it is varies with the different site locations, because the latitudes and altitudes are different, so that it will produce the different air density. So first you have to find rho. So rho is equal to, we already know that, P into P by RT. So P is the pressure, R is the it's a gas constant, and T is the temperature. So we already know P is equal to 1.0132 into 10 raised to 5, because it is in terms of Newton meter square, divided by 287 is a constant value, that we already know that, R, and T is that Kelvin, if you add 293. So finally you will get 1.2 kg per meter square. That will be the density of the air. Okay, so by knowing the density of air, you are going to calculate the available power, total power, maximum power, and power with respect to the efficiency, and power with respect to the wind diameter. The first thing, the power density of the, when the swept area of the windmill is 1 meter square. Okay, so the available power density is P1. We can call it as a P1. It is half rho A Vi, means V1 or inlet velocity, or Vi means inlet velocity, or you can also call it as a V1. Okay, cube. So 1 by 2, we already know that rho is a 1.2, and this area, so here we can taken as a 1 meter square. It's a because it is not given, so that you assume that it is a value of 1 meter square. You should assume that. Okay, for 1 meter square of area, 1 meter square of area, and V is given 8. So 307.2 watt per meter square is the available power because of that density, because of the particular density. That is the first thing. First thing we calculated. Clear? In the data they given, and we want to calculate the power density available in the wind. So this much of power has to be obtained because of those datas. But next is B. So this is a B. Okay, so maximum power density. So P2, we can call it as a P2. So P1 is the available one, and P2 is the maximum. So maximum, we already know that the maximum power density, which is equal to one equation we already derived in our previous class. So that equation is 8 by 27 rho Vi cube. Okay, and it is also for the same area, 1 meter square, because not given. If they given, you can take that value. If it is not given, you can take as a 1 meter square. So from this 8 by 27 into rho, we already calculated density 1.2, and V is 8 meter cube, and A is 1. Okay, so the maximum power, because of that, it will be a 182 watt per meter square, and this is according to the bends. This is according to the Benz equation, because we already know that the Benz equation or Benz law, the efficiency is nearly 59.2, so that we will get a maximum power. But actually it won't, because actually the efficiency is less than that, so that we will get a less power. And third one is the obtainable density assuming efficiency. See here, the efficiency is 35%. So the actual power density P3, we can call it as a P3. So we already know that a P1, it's a available density into efficiency. That efficiency is 35. So 35 efficiency means, that is what, 35 divided by 100. Okay, so that gives the 0.35. Okay, so the 0.35 and the actual power in the air, if you multiply, you will get 107.5. So because of this efficiency, actually we should get a 307. So that much of maximum power, because of the efficiency, because of the circumstances, or because of the constraints, ultimately we get only 107.5 watt per meter square. And next power, that is what we can call it as a P. Okay, or you can call it as a P4 or P. So this power is because of the diameter of the that swept area. So they are given diameter. From the diameter we can calculate the swept area, and in the previous we assumed that swept area is 1, but here they given the diameter, and so you have to find out the area, then we substitute and we will get the final. So swept area which is equal to, A is equal to, we already know that, pi by 4 d square. Okay, so pi by 4 d square. So P is equal to P3. So P3, that is the actual power. Okay, so that actual power into area. So previous we taken area as a 1, but here it is area different. So P3 into A, so that area is equal to pi by 4 d square, and d is given 30 meter. So if you substitute that, finally it will give 75,987 watt. Okay, so in terms of, if we take in terms of kilowatt, it is 76 kilowatt. So maximum from that swept area, means from that diameter, with the help of this constraints, means the 35 efficiency, we taken efficiency as a 35%. Okay, if you go with the Benz law, again that power output will be increases from 76 to, it may be 100 or 110 kilowatt. Okay, so but we go with the actual efficiency, that is what, 35%, and finally we get the power is equal to 76 kilowatt. So like this you have to find out the one by one unknown quantities, and this type of problems may ask for 6 to 8 marks. Okay, so here first you have to find out absolutely air density. So from the air density you are going to find out the power density and available power and total power and power with respect to the efficiency and diameter of the windmill. So this is the third problem. So here it's a December 2018 question paper problem, and this problem is asked for 8 marks. The problem statement is, okay, the wind at 1 standard atmospheric pressure, always it is a 1 standard atmospheric pressure, and the temperature is 15 degree centigrade, and the velocity is 15 meter per second. So the velocity is increases, temperature decreases, and the pressure is same, 1 atmospheric pressure, and with the turbine operating a speed of 40 rpm, they given n value rpm, so that the rpm is 40 revolutions per minute. From this the maximum efficiency we have to calculate, and assume turbine diameter is 120 meter. So the turbine diameter is 120 meter. From that we get the swept area, and also in then efficiency is not directly given, instead of that they given 40 rpm, and by using these data you have to calculate. First thing you have to calculate a total power density in the wind. First thing you have to calculate a total power density, second the maximum obtainable power, and third is reasonable obtainable power density with efficiency of 35%, and fourth one is total power. So these 4 unknown you have to calculate by using the above given data. First thing you have to write on the given data. So first you write out P means pressure. It's a 1 atmospheric pressure. Either you can take 1 or 1.0135 into 10 raised to 5, because it is in the terms of bar. So you have to convert to bar to Newton per meter square. That is by multiplying the 10 raised to 5. First thing is a common, you have to find out the air density, because from the air density only we get the power. Okay, so the air density is equal to rho by P, rho is equal to P by RT. So P is the pressure, R is the gas constant, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. So that you have to write. So P is given in the problem, and R is a constant. We already know that it is a 287 into 288 means it is a temperature with respect to the 15 degree. So 273 plus 15, it gives the 288. Okay, so by using these datas, okay, if you calculate, the final density will become 1.23 kg per meter cube. The density will reduce to 1.23 kg per meter cube. Next thing is, from this density, okay, you just take the area. So area is not given. Okay, so in the third and fourth, the area is given, but in the first and second unknown quantity, area is not given, so that you have to assume that the area is 1 meter square. The swept area is 1 meter square. For that, you are going to calculate the available power density and maximum power density. Okay, and third thing, actual power density, they given the efficiency, and the power capacity of the wind, they given that diameter. Okay, the first thing, available power density, which is equal to P1 of rho A Vi square. Okay, so of into 1.23 and into 1 and 15 cube. 15 is the that velocity they given. Clear? So from that, the power available, which is equal to 2076 watts per meter square. So per meter square will get 2076 watt from that given data. Okay, so next thing what you have to calculate is the maximum power. Again, for this maximum power, the area is the same one, and this maximum power means it is according to the Bend's law. Okay, the maximum power means it is according to the Bend's equation. That is what P2 is equal to 8 by 27 means, that will be the maximum. If whatever the conditions, if whatever the maximum wind velocity, we get maximum power. That will be the ideal power. Okay, but actually in practical we cannot reach that maximum power. It is always less than the maximum power. Okay, so in the examination, maximum you can score 100. You cannot score more than 100. Of course, you can reach 100 or less than 100, but more than 100 is not possible. Similarly, like this, the maximum power density means up to we can reach. Okay, so more than that we cannot reach because of the limitations, because of the environment conditions. Yes, this P2 is equal to 8 by 27. We already know that, and rho Vi cube. So Vi means inlet velocity. That is what they given a 15. So substituting the values, rho is also, we got the rho value 1.23 and 15 cube, and finally, so 1230 watt. 1230 watt per meter square is the maximum power we get that wind turbine. Okay, so this is according to the Bend's law. Okay, yes, next is the actual power. So the actual power density should be less than the maximum one. Clear? Yes. So the actual power density, which is equal to P3, and this P3, it is related to the efficiency. So in that efficiency we took, it is nearly 60%, but here efficiency what we are going to consider is 35%. The reasonable efficiency is 35%. So P3 is equal to the previous one what we got, that power density. The power density is 2070 into 35. Okay, into 35 we get that value of 727, means 727 watt per meter square. So here in the second one, maximum power, either you can use this or directly you can use the value is 0.59. So that is the maximum power efficiency. So here either you can 0.59 into P1, you will get the same thing, or else 8 by 27 into rho Vi cube into A, you will also get the same thing. Okay, so here 0.35. So this value is 0.35. And the fourth one is the total power. So the total power is with respect to the diameter. So diameter is 120 meter. So first you have to find out the swept area. So area is equal to pi by 4 d square. So d is 120. So we get the swept area, and that swept area into previous what we got 727. You will get the final power capacity. So the final power capacity, which is equal to, so P is equal to P3 into area, that power density into area, that gives the total power. And power density for actual one we are going to calculate. So actual power is equal to 727 into area pi by 4 d square. So d means 120. So if you substitute and simplify, finally we get so 8222 into 10 raised to 3 watt. In terms of kilowatt, okay, 8222 kilowatt. So that much of power we are going to get. Or in terms of megawatt means 8.2 megawatt, or else 8222 kilowatt. Clear? Or 8222 into 10 raised to 3 watt. So this much of power we are going to get by using this conditions like 15 degrees centigrade and velocity is 15. Here you just observe the velocity of the wind also increases, as well as the diameter of the blade also, swept turbine also increases. So by increasing the blade area or swept area and velocity, ultimately it will increase the power output. You just see this much of power we are going to get. Okay. Next, fourth problem. So here this problem is also may ask for 6 to 8 marks. The problem states that wind at 1 standard atmospheric pressure. Here also same thing. It's a 1 standard atmospheric pressure. So it value is 1.0132 bar, and they given a velocity. The velocity is 15 meter per second. Calculate by using this, calculate the total power density, the maximum power obtained, okay, and actual reasonable obtained power, and the total power as well as torque. Here they want the torque and axial thrust. Axial thrust means how much load is acting on that, okay. And given the turbine diameter is 120 meter and the turbine operating 40 rpm and the maximum efficiency for that, and the propeller type wind turbine is considered. It's a propeller type, so that it will help for aerodynamic design. Okay, so these are the datas given. So by using these datas, you have to find out. Okay, so here atmospheric 1 standard pressure is given, and temperature is 15 degree, velocity is 15, and diameter is 120, and operating at a speed of 40 rpm. Okay, so these are the some input datas. By using input datas, you have to find out, first thing is total power density, maximum obtainable power, and reasonable power, as well as total power with a torque and axial thrust you have to calculate. Okay, so first you have to write on one side a given datas. Clear? That is what P is equal to 1 and 1.10132 into 1 bar. So 1 bar is equal to 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. That we already know that. And the pressure is 15 degree and then temperature of 15 degrees, so that we will get a temperature of 288. And the velocity of this is 15. V is equal to 15 meter per second. Okay, and D diameter is 120 meter. Okay, and N is the rotation. It is 40 rpm. So calculate these things. So first you have to, as usual, first you have to calculate the air density. We already know that rho is equal to P by RT. So P is the pressure that we already know, divided by R. R is the constant, that is 287 into 288. So that gives the density of that air, which is equal to 1.226 kg per meter cube. Okay, this is the first data we should calculate. Second thing is the power density in the power. So power density in the power when the swept area, that is what they not given, so that you have to assume that the swept area is 1 meter square. Clear? 1 meter square. So the power density from that 1 meter square, which is equal to P1, we can call it as a P1. So of rho A VI cube. VI means inlet velocity. So we already know that density 1.266 into area is 1, and V is equal to 15 cube. So from that we get a value of 2069 watt per meter square. Means per meter square we get the power of 2069. Clear? Second thing is the efficiency, the maximum efficiency according to the bends. So maximum efficiency means according to the bends. So you just 0.59 into the obtained power density, that is what, 2000. So you will get an 1020 to 226, or else you can directly take 8 by 27, or else you can use the equation same, 8 by 27 rho vi cube into a. So a is 1, and by substituting all the datas you will get the final value of 1226 watt per meter square. Actually we get maximum power of 1226. Actually we need 2000, but the actual obtained power is 1226. Next is according to the efficiency. The efficiency is restricted to only 35%. So according to that, the power output is P3. We can call it as a P3 is equal to P1 into nu. Nu means it's a efficiency. That efficiency is 35.35 into 2069. That finally gives 724. So 724 is the actual obtained pressure density. Actual obtained pressure density is 724 watt per meter square. Okay, so we need a total power. So the total power is equal to P is equal to P3 into A. So A is the swept area, that is pi by 4 d square. D is given 120. So substitute, and P3 is 724. So 724 into pi by 4 into 120 square, that gives final power is 8184 into 10 raised to 3 watt. So if we convert to kilowatt, it is 8184 kilowatt. If you want to convert megawatt, it is 8.1 megawatt. So this much of power is available. Maximum this much of power is 8.1 megawatt. Clear? By using this power is with respect to the given datas. Okay, and next what you have to calculate, last one is torque and axial thrust. That we already know that the torque maximum, T maximum is equal to that equation we already derived in our previous class. T maximum is equal to 2 by 27 GC into rho dvi cube by n. So 2 into 27 into 1, GC is 1, we already know that, and into 1.226 into 120 into 15 cube, and this n is 40 per 60 means it's a 40 is a RPM. So per minute, if you want to seconds, so 40 by 60. So means per second how much it is rotating. Okay. So if you substitute and calculate, finally the torque maximum is 55,170 Newton. So 55,170 Newton is the maximum torque. And the maximum axial thrust by using the torque is the equation F maximum is equal to pi by 4 9 GC rho dvi square. Okay, and here GC is 1, we already know that, and rho is given, and diameter is also given, and VI is also given. If you substitute all these values, finally the force maximum or axial thrust, it's axial thrust or force, both are same. So our load is also same. So it is acting on that is, it is 13,85,870 Newton. It is 13,85,870 Newton. That much of axial thrust is acting on that turbine. Clear? So like this, you have to calculate the torque, you have to calculate the axial thrust, you have to calculate the total power, reasonable power, power density, and maximum power, as well as air density. Okay. So this problem may ask for 10 marks in the examination.